Well, we head back to Illinois this weekend for customer support from John's farm. John?
I had a sense of deja vu when I read this email. I would like to know how we allow contracts for grain purchases to be canceled by buyers, especially China. Can you explain why they can do this and I can't? That's from Scott Summerfield in Munger, Michigan. I thought I had answered almost the same question a couple of years ago. Turns out it was 2017, and here is what I said. Well, Tracy, the short answer to the question about how does China get away with this is because they can. And it turns out that may be the long answer too. When you are by far the biggest buyer of commodities in the world, you can kind of play by your own rules. Keep in mind, too, that global forces to police such agreements, like the WTO, World Trade Organization, are now out of political favor. Should the U.S. pull out of such trading organizations, we would have even less power to seek redress for broken promises. I asked the public relations people at a big grain merchandiser about how cancellations worked and received a very polite and very vague answer. There don't seem to be any firm rules, at least that are publicly shared. One thing they did note was shipping companies are the ones who are currently taking the biggest hit, and carriers are starting to fold those costs into prices for cargo to China, as well as trying to include some damage clauses in their contracts. But shipping is in even greater surplus than corn or soybeans right now, so even global cargo carriers have little leverage. Reading between the lines, however, this is my guess, and I do mean guess. When commodities are tight due to production problems or robust demand, grain merchandisers remember being stiffed by customers like China. I would expect what goes around comes around applies to international grain trading as well. Since I said that, the concept of free trade has been proven to have some serious problems. Supporters like me overestimated the ability of national economies to adjust to foreign competition without serious social and economic difficulties. International enforcement of contracts is another, since agreement on remedial actions seems unlikely. Obviously, we've been here before. Maybe we should just remember that sales to China should be considered a bonus, not a reliable demand.
Well, impressive women in agriculture, but what about farming at the age of 16? It's one female farmer that we feature. To kick off Women of Ag, next.